Live from Global British Columbia, the Noon News Hour.
Good afternoon. BC's south coast is cleaning up from another run-in with Mother Nature. The powerful storm packing winds of more than 110 kilometers an hour, knocking out electricity to more than 150,000 people and disrupting ferry traffic. The island has been hardest hit. In the Victoria area, the winds have knocked down numerous trees and left a mess of the cenotaph where yesterday's Remembrance Day ceremonies were held. The storm has also disrupted ferry service to Washington State and, of course, on BC ferries. Made for a rough ride for the first sailing from Horseshoe Bay to Nanaimo this morning.
Yeah, I feel still a little queasy though. Yeah, it was pretty rough, but it was a safe ride.
You could hear dishes crashing in the kitchen and stuff, so it's pretty interesting.
A little bit choppy, nothing too serious.
So you held your cookies, did you?
Oh, I saved them. Paid good money for that breakfast.
And with more on the storm's impact, Keith, you look kind of cold and wet out there.
A little cold, a little wet, Deb. Yes, very much. I'm down here actually on the beach, Dallas Road in Victoria, and it's calmed down a bit here. The waves are still rolling in, though. Quite a few breakers. A lot of storm watchers down here viewing what a few moments ago, or about a half an hour ago, I think was pretty sensational. A lot of big waves crashing on to the beach. But the winds have died down a bit. It's still cold. It's still wet. And now I think people are more worried about flooding rather than trees toppling down. Winds did reach in excess of 100 kilometers an hour here overnight, Deb. I can tell you around 5 a.m. here, it was as bad as I've ever heard it here on the island. I've been here 20 years. It was very fierce, very loud. Interesting, though, driving around the capital today, myself and our cameraman Howard Cooper, not finding as many toppled trees as we've seen in years previous, because I think a lot of the old trees and dying trees and damaged trees, those with disease which are more prone to toppling over, have already gone over in past storms in previous years. So the damage doesn't seem to be as extensive this year, at least so far, as we would have seen had this happened this time last year.
Well, so that is absolutely good news. Do you think it's over now? What's the forecast over there?
Well, right now it's we're supposed to peak around 2 o'clock, so we're not. But then the rains come, and so again, flooding I think is going to be a concern for people. But I'll tell you, on the weekend, people here were saying, you know what? It's now storm season, so this is just the start of what many people assume to be some pretty wild windstorms here in the capital and in the island region. We've been hit with them in the past, of course, but this year I think people are really starting to sit up and take notice that this is a part of life now on the island, and I think a lot of people had their trees trimmed or toppled in the summer in preparation for what everybody expects to be another wet and windy winter here in the capital.